I have made it to my fourth continent. Welcome to Australia. We're going to be spending 5 wonderful days here in Sydney, Australia. Hey everyone, Scott, the Scott Man, and welcome. It is so great to be here. I've been wanting to come to Australia for many years, and I'm finally here. So we'll be exploring this wonderful city of Sydney for the next 5 days, checking out some cool different things you can see and do here. And on a separate video too, I'm going to be filming a food tour as well. So I figure why not start over here near Milson's Point, where you get a nice overlook of the harbor. And of course you got the Sydney Opera House on the other side. And of course you can see the central business district of Sydney. What a spectacular view, a great way to get started. So what we'll go ahead and we'll do is we'll head across the Sydney Harbour Bridge and we'll head over to the main part of the city. So let's get started. So let's head across the Sydney Harbour Bridge and I'll tell you more about Sydney. The Greater Sydney area is the ancestral home of 3 or more Aboriginal peoples, including the Gadigal. In 1770, Lieutenant James Cook, who later became a captain, landed at Bondi Bay. In 1788, Captain Arthur Phillip brought a crew of convicts, marines, and livestock and arrived at Sydney Cove, where Circular Quay is today, on January 26, which is known as Australia Day and celebrated every year. The Aboriginal communities, however, refer to this day as Invasion Day. British settlers faced repression from Aboriginal warriors like Pemulwuy, pardon the pronunciation, and Mosquito. However, they ended up falling to the British. As the British settlers came, they brought diseases like smallpox, which devastated the Eora people. London later thought of a new vision for Sydney to become a new outpost for the British Empire instead of being a prison camp. What a great way to start my adventure here in Sydney. It's like got some spectacular views from the pylon overlook over on the bridge, and it was fantastic to see downtown Sydney and of course the Sydney Opera House and all the areas all throughout the Greater Sydney area. And over here we have the icon of Sydney, the famous Sydney Opera House. It was constructed back in 1973, and you can see all kinds of amazing performances inside. In fact, I'm going to be heading over there right now to go on a little tour. So I'll tell you a little bit more about it. And here is the famous Sydney Opera House. It first opened back in 1973. The design was inspired by billowing sails, orange segments, palm fronds, and Mayan temples. There are 2 different theaters here at the Opera House. You got the Grand Hall and you got another performing venue right next door. It is really cool to go inside and watch a performance here, which I got to do, but of course they don't allow video, so we'll just have to admire from the outside. All right, so the next point of interest is just over that way. What a beautiful and tranquil sight this is. This is the Royal Botanic Gardens, Sydney. It was established back in 1816. You got plant life from all over the world here, and it is just so serene in here. You got a beautiful pond over here, all kinds of wonderful trees. On a nice day like today, just feel the fresh breeze and just take it in. And over here at Mrs. McClory's chair, I'm probably butchering the pronunciation right now, so I apologize, but you got a spectacular view of the Sydney Harbour with the Opera House, of course, and the Sydney Harbour Bridge. This is an iconic photo over here. Although it'd been better if I would have gotten here early in the day, but of course, my flight came in like this morning, so it's like when life gives you lemons, you have to make lemonade. Somehow. But yep, what a beautiful view. Well, that was very impressive. The Royal Botanic Garden is absolutely spectacular. You definitely have to check it out. It's absolutely free. You'll love it. All right, so coming up next, I'm gonna go get some spectacular views of the city. as we head over to the west of St. James Station, we have the Sydney Tower. And of course, the observation deck at the top is the Sydney Tower Eye, about 250 meters above street level. And it's been open since 1981. You get some really cool views from up there. The views from up to the top of the Sydney Tower, that was really impressive. Pretty much the highest point in all of Sydney, and you could see for a very long ways. It's absolutely beautiful. All right, but we got a lot more to discover here in Sydney, so yeah, don't go anywhere. We'll be covering it in multiple days. A little bit further west of the main downtown area, we're over at the Sydney Fish Market. It is a thriving fish market where they handle around 15 million kilograms of seafood every year. So that's pretty cool, I have to say. We'll have to go check it out. And here is the Sydney Fish Market. You have to check out a fish market at least once while visiting Sydney. So in here, you can buy all kinds of fresh fish and other kinds of different seafood. You can even get some sushi while you're here, some oysters, and of course, you even have some delicious food for takeaway too, where I ended up getting a platter of fried seafood. It was quite good, I have to say. That was a pretty cool fish market, I have to say. And in fact, they're even building a brand new fish market too. It looks like it's probably make it even bigger and better too. All right, so we're gonna head over toward Chinatown next, another cool area to check out. And then in my separate food video, I'll be getting some food over there too. All right, so we're a little bit to the west of Chinatown right now. So before we go over to Chinatown, we have to check out the Chinese Garden of Friendship. This was built out of a partnership between the city of Sydney and Guangzhou in southern China. As we head inside, we'll explore this beautiful garden and, well, better yet, let's just go in. That was absolutely beautiful. One of the most beautiful gardens I've ever seen. You definitely have to check out the Chinese Garden of Friendship here in Sydney. Absolutely beautiful. It's like now I need to plan a trip to China. maybe it'll be my next destination. You never know. All right, so we're gonna head over to the east over toward Chinatown next. All right, and this is Chinatown. So you got these beautiful Chinese gates here on Dixon Street. Got all kinds of great Chinese restaurants, markets, you name it. I'll be exploring this really quick and then also be featuring this in my food tour video too. Very cool area, I have to say. Yeah, definitely check out my food tour video because I get to eat at the Emperor Garden restaurant for some great Cantonese dim sum. All right, so let's continue. All right, so over here, this is the town hall for Sydney. Just gotta love the historic architecture. It's absolutely stunning. And then we head over to the north, you got the Queen Victoria building. It's pretty cool, you got a lot of beautiful historic buildings mixed in with some of the more modern skyscrapers and buildings here in downtown Sydney. All right, so we have made it to Hyde Park. Well, technically I was here just yesterday as I was able to look at this beautiful fountain, but back here today because there's more one to check out at this park. A lot I missed, so might as well check it out today because there's some cool stuff as we head that way. And this beautiful gem here, the southern end of Hyde Park, this is the Anzac Memorial. Anzac is short for Australian New Zealand Army Corps. So it's a World War I memorial, and it's absolutely free to check out too, and you got this nice reflection pool in front of it as well. Yep, very cool memorial to say. If you come over to the east side of the Hyde Park, we've got a couple different museums we could check out. The first one is the Australia Museum, which is the oldest museum or oldest public museum in all of Australia. To learn more about the fauna of Australia, of course, about the First Nations and other cool exhibits, including some dinosaurs and things like that. So, be cool to check out. Pretty cool museum, I have to say. They didn't really allow video in there, but I was able to get some photos though. It's like they had a lot of cool exhibits in there. Different things like with dinosaurs, of course, and there's also different things about, of course, the First Nation people here, and a lot of other cool stuff too. And of course, the Australian Museum is free to check out, so you definitely have to stop in at some point while visiting Sydney. And over behind me, that is St. Mary's Cathedral, a beautiful looking cathedral that is over to the east of Hyde Park. Absolutely fantastic. And to north of the cathedral, we also have the Hyde Park Barracks Museum. So the barracks here was originally built for housing convicts. And it's another one of the free museums you can check out here. It goes into all the different history about, of course, being the main barracks for the convicts who were here in the early days, and eventually some other people rolling in there as well. But it's like you got to learn about the different hardships that they had to deal with. All right, so there's a lot more to Sydney than what we've seen the past couple days, so I'm gonna go get some dinner. I'll see you tomorrow for some more cool stuff. And it's another wonderful day, and it's like when you're visiting Sydney, you have to get out of the downtown area for a little bit, get some fresh scenery, especially here along the coast. So we're right on the shores of the Pacific Ocean, and we're gonna be doing a little beach walk this morning. We're starting over here at Coogie Beach. Nice little beach. It's maybe not as popular as the more famous Bondi Beach, but it's still very nice. Nice swimming beach. You can even go for surf over here too. But we'll be heading up to Bondi, but we'll have a nice little walk along the ocean on our way up there. This has been such a beautiful walk so far. Absolutely love the scenery over here, and all the way out that way, of course, well, to the left of me, you can even see not only a bird come really close to me, but also you can see the Waverly Cemetery over that way overlooking the ocean. And of course, you got Bronte Beach tucked in over that way, and then out that way, you can even see Bondi Beach. That's where we're heading next. We have finally made it to Bondi Beach, one of the most famous beaches, if not the most famous beach in all of Australia. That coastal walk was absolutely fantastic, and it's great to be treated to great views like this one. I'm just loving the vibes here at Bondi Beach. I could just watch the surfers all day, go surfing here. Very cool, but I have to keep on moving because there's some other cool stuff I gotta check out. More stuff around the coastline. So I head up toward Manly next, so like Manly Beach in that area. So it's keep on going to the north. All right, made it to Manly, over by the Manly Wharf, and the fastest way for me to get over here from Bondi, it's like I pretty much had to take public transportation back into downtown Sydney, head back to Circular Quay, and then take the Manly fast ferry over here. But this is a cool little beach town. And we made it over to Manly Beach. This is a very, very beautiful beach. Almost like this better than Bondi Beach earlier. It's like, got a nice sandy beach over here, and of course, you got incredible scenery all throughout the landscape here. This is absolutely beautiful. If I had some more time, I would even go further south of here, because there's a really cool park over at North Head where you get some very cool views of the ocean, which is really, really cool. I was able to see it from the ferry over here. But of course, the cool thing about the promenade here is that you can just go for a little walk and just enjoy the views. What an epic spot this is. Manly Beach is pretty awesome. With the beautiful scenery along in here, got these beautiful cliffs right behind us, and of course, these very strong waves. And yeah, someone just got splashed. Thankfully, not me. But yeah, this is a cool spot. Yep. When you're visiting Sydney, you have to check out the different beaches in the area, whether it's, of course, the classic Bondi Beach, Coogie Beach, or even coming up here to Manly Beach. This one's probably my favorite, just because you got incredible scenery and just wonderful vibes here. All right, so there's more to Sydney than this, so we'll show a little bit more. And it's another, well, I can say beautiful day, even though it's kind of wet out there today. But yeah, when it comes to different trips I go on, it's like every once in a while you're bound to run into a day of rain. So it's a great day to do some indoor activities, like check out some museums, like some of the ones I checked out already. And of course, you can check out the Rocks Discovery Museum here in the Rocks neighborhood. The Rocks neighborhood is like it's one of the more historic areas of Sydney. And this museum has some very cool artifacts inside and goes into the history of the greater Sydney area, dating back to the times before the Europeans came over, highlighting different artifacts of the Gadigal people, and also goes into the lives of some of the Europeans as well too, as people have come over here over the years. But so now let's head out in the rain and we'll go walk around the area. Very nice, I have to say. Yep, the scenery around here in the Rocks, just love the architecture in here. It's definitely worth a stop here in Sydney. But I'm probably not going to be filming too much today because of the weather, but there is another restaurant we'll be checking out. Again, check out my food tour. I know I keep promoting in this video, but you don't want to miss it. And then I'll go catch a symphony orchestra performance at the Opera House too, so I'll do that off camera. So anyway, I'll see you tomorrow as I get ready to wrap up this video. My last full day here in Sydney before I head on to the next destination, and I'm checking out Centennial Park today. So Centennial Park is the largest park in Sydney, and you got all kinds of green space, plenty of trees, and a lot of ponds around the area. So let's go explore. What a beautiful park, and I'm glad the clouds are clearing out so that way you get some blue skies for a beautiful park like this. You got everything from different ponds, lots of trees. Saw a little area where you can go like horseback riding, or at least in a corral, I would say. And then of course you got a nice soccer field over here too. And over here too, you can also rent some bicycles too. So that's pretty cool. Centennial Park is absolutely beautiful. Lots of wonderful green space. A great place to hang out on a nice afternoon like this one. But yeah, I have to say, I've been really impressed with Sydney. I knew I would enjoy the city, but I could say it exceeded my expectations. The city is really cool. A lot of cool things you can see and do in the city. A lot of great museums you can check out, including some free ones. Of course, all kinds of great food. Again, that's in a separate video, and of course some beautiful parks like this one. And of course, don't forget about that coastal walk we did over at the beaches the other day too. All right, so I'm gonna head back in the city. I'm gonna get ready to conclude this video over there. All right, so we're gonna get ready to wrap up the video over here along Darling Harbor, walking along the promenade here. Nice place to hang out, all kinds of great restaurants and places just to hang out. And of course, you got a bunch of ferries over here too. So it's a nice place to go for a stroll during the evening. But yeah, had such a great time here in Sydney, as I was just saying, and of course, stay tuned to my food video that I'm doing here in Sydney as well. And then, as for me, I'm going to be getting ready to head up to Brisbane up in Queensland tomorrow to continue my Australia adventure. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video here in Sydney, Australia. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to click that like button. Don't forget to click that subscribe button so that we don't miss out any future adventures. Well, thank you for watching, and this is Scott of the Scott Man Stereo here from Sydney, Australia.